Any future YouTube audiences, just skip forward. Just skip forward past us bumbling right
Which
now.
song are you playing? Which song are you playing?
Oh, I don't know. What should I play?
Or which intro did you play?
Should just put on Doom Eternal music. That's my go-to right now.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Nice choice, actually. To be fair,
I love the soundtrack. It is so good.
No, that is a good choice. I mean, it's heavy metal as hell, which is you can't go wrong, can you?
I don't think you can get striked for it because it's video game music.
I'm not sure. Do you know, I don't trust Twitch at all. That's my thing. I just don't trust it.
Funny thing is, one of the bigger Twitch streamers I followed, man by the name of Shull, SHUL. It's upwards about 40k, 50k followers on Twitch. Says you can play whatever music you want, so long as it's never been on the radio. It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Yeah, no, stay away from me. So my housemate's just coming to tell me he's got COVID and show me his arm, and I don't want any part of it. No, that don't look right, mate. It's all red and swollen. I am not going near you. Stay away.
You can't stay anyway.
Well, that's what they shot you with, isn't it? COVID. Like, mate, I'm not going near you. I'm not doing it. Stay the fuck away. All right, okay. Right, I'm ready. I'm good.
All right, good. But, yeah, he told me you can stream whatever kind of music you want on Twitch so long as it's never been on the radio. Apparently, that's a thing.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was a thing. I honestly don't trust Twitch at all, because remember when they did the Twitch, what did they call it? They did that music thing, didn't they? Play with Twitch or something, or use Twitch music. It's royalty free, and they messed it up, and that's what started this whole thing, because it wasn't.
I don't know. I do remember one of the funniest things was what was it? Was the event recently that happened where I think it was Metallica was playing for the event, and they had to on the recording they actually had to mute Metallica and put in their own music. It was I forget if it was a Twitch or a YouTube event of some kind.
No, you're right. It was
Twitch, right?
Yeah, it was Twitch. It was their play at home thing, whatever they did. You know,
something like that. It was it was hilarious. It was just like, oh, that's just peak Twitch.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You can't even hire a very famous and well-known band that you have paid to perform at your event and safely be assured that you can use their music because your algorithm is just going to nuke it.
It's true. They did a really poor job of it, but I think that's just like I said, Twitch in general, because the thing I don't like about it is they put everything onto the actual streamers rather than themselves. They're kind of pawning off the responsibility of it, and it's more like, oh, I don't know, you're on your own for this. Like, if you get sued or whatever, it's your problem, not ours. And this is why I don't agree with your channel being taken down immediately, because they've got to bear some responsibility for me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's
I don't see why, because I don't know, do I? I'm not in the law. I don't have all these fancy lawyers like they do. I play something by accident, or I hum something by accident. Next thing you know,
guy comes speeding by with his car near your window, playing something loud enough, and you're fucked.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
that's a joke as well.
God, dude.
At what point do you have control over that situation?
How do you got to be in a bunker underground or something?
Yeah, it's true. The best thing you can do for it, in my opinion, is like what YouTube do, which is they scan everything beforehand. And they don't let you upload it without telling you, by the way, this is a problem for you.
Yeah.
But then again, Twitch can't do that because it's live.
It's all live. Yeah.
But with the VODs, at least they can stop the VODs going out, because that's how most people got into trouble, wasn't it? It was the VODs. Everyone had to delete all their VODs from years back.
Yeah. For like, what was it? For like 5 or 10 years of content, and if you didn't scrub all of it, you could get hit with the $40,000 fine.
Yeah, it's not good enough, really. But again, it's the world we live in, and if YouTube is scared of it as well, which is Google, if Google is scared of the music industry and being sued, you know it's a problem.
That's the thing. It's a lot of archaic laws. It's all It's all these laws that were made back in the 90s that haven't seen the light of day for close to 20 years now, maybe more than 20 years now.
Yeah.
And they desperately need to be looked at again and updated.
Yeah. Just putting your name in my with odd mimic. So you're in my title. There we go. Yeah. All right. What do you want to? I mean, that's actually a good opening chat, I think.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. Definitely a lot more to discuss on that because there's just, I think, I don't think we're ever gonna say enough that that no one's said before, because I mean, what hasn't been said about this BS with the algorithms and the DMCA's? Yeah. All right, gotta stop myself before I go right back into it.
Yeah. I mean,
not much of a segue, but I guess we can get on the topic just to I guess kind of tickle your engine a little bit. Arcane Studios claims that Microsoft's Bethesda acquisition will allow us to remain creative. What are your thoughts?
well, creativity is such a loosely used word.
What do you think? What I'm going to assume that they mean by this is creative freedom, that they're going to be allowed. Even that's a little vague. They're going to be allowed to work as they have been working, maybe, because it does say remain creative. Some kind of implication there. What do you think?
Well, I think what companies want these days, I guess, like people like BioWare and things, is that everyone's looking for creative freedom from their big publishers, but because they're so big, they can't get it. So what everyone wants really is an independent way of doing things. So everyone wants to be an indie game these days, give themselves full freedom. But the problem is with big money, big games, you're not going to get it really. You're at the whim of the publisher. So do I think they get more creative freedom by that? No, I don't. I think it's the opposite. But they have to put out them buzzwords.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all about buzzwords for me.
Do you think we're ever going to reach a point where the bigger corporations, the big publishers, they're just going to overreach? They're gonna go a little too far, and or maybe do you think that it's already happened? It's gonna tip the dominoes on enough of a scale that they're gonna realize that they've overreached?
I think I did.
I think maybe a good example might even be Anthem.
Yeah, do you think?
I think that might have been something. Oh, sorry, just one second. Hey there, Zero Glitch. How you doing? Thanks for popping by. Just a little gaming podcast that my friend Winfell and I here are doing. Just talking about gaming news, discussions, stuff like that. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks for being here. Yeah.
I think Anthem. See, Anthem's a difficult one for me because it was a game that it shouldn't have been cancelled, in my opinion, because cancelling it sends out the message that you don't have any faith in the developer anymore. And personally, I don't have faith in them anymore. I don't. I've not liked them for years. What have they done good for years?
Are you talking about BioWare or EA?
Yeah, BioWare.
Really?
I think EA have done okay, good things recently. Like EA Play's phenomenal.
Okay.
They put that on more platforms. So now you're going to get on the Xbox Game Pass. You've got it on Steam. I think that was the right move. I think it was good, and everyone else has followed suit. Everyone's copying their way of doing things. Like you got Ubisoft Play thing on the back of Origin Premier Plus. Like I paid for Origin Premier, like $80 a year, whatever it was. I don't know what it was in pounds, not dollars. I just took a guess.
That's all right.
But yeah, I think EA have done the right things recently, and I do like where they're going with the EA Play. But killing Anthem is almost killing BioWare for me. It's and I'm not against it. Honestly, I'm really not against it. I know that's controversial, but BioWare have been quite a failure for me for a while.
Do you
So,
think they've been on a downward slope for a while now?
yeah, I do. I think again, they're people who you say, okay, they make great RPGs, they make good stories,
Mm-hmm.
good characters, but they don't, do they? They they've not done that. Everything's they've their creative freedom has led them to Anthem, and look what's happened there.
Right.
Nothing. They they made a generic game where you
Mhm.
can fly around and shoot and loot, but who wants that? No one.
Well, I think a lot of people, to play devil's advocate there, I think a lot of people were definitely excited by the concept and by the things that they saw there. It wasn't at all reinventing the wheel by any means, but personally speaking, I liked what I saw a lot of there, and that is one of those games, and there's a number of them out there that I refer to as concept art, the game.
Okay. I kind of know what you mean. You kind of go.
Yeah,
Did you ever see Godzilla, the latest Godzilla?
I haven't.
Okay, so the Godzilla film with Bryan Cranston in.
The 2014 one.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So if you watch that film, every single shot of Godzilla is a wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
For your desktop. It's just stunning artwork, but the
Yep.
film's garbage.
Yep.
So
Absolutely
I kind of
agree.
know what you mean with Anthem.
Absolutely
I kind
agree.
of get it.
And that's kind of what I mean with the games. There's quite a few of them there where you have these. They hired a bunch of artists, some really really fantastic artists, and they came out with these images, and they just absolutely fell in love with the images, and that's it. That's about as far as it goes. That's about the depth there. It was all about recreating that. Death Stranding is another one of those types of games.
No, I've not played Death Stranding because
That-
from day one I thought to myself, it's more of an ego trip for
Mm-hmm.
for him than an
Kojima?
actual game. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And again, I think he's slightly, again, personal opinion,
Mhm.
I think he's overrated.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely agree. Just watching, because I didn't get to play, didn't spend the money. Watching just the first hour of play and what the story was and everything, all the world building, already there were just so many holes left and right. And after going throughout the whole game, it really was like a, as some people might put it, as I've heard some people put it, it is Kojima's cool kids club of actors.
Okay.
Where it's just a showcase of actors. That's it. All his acting friends, all his big Hollywood friends. You got Norman Reedus, Guillermo del Toro, you got Mads Mikkelsen, all of them in there, and that's all it is. There's not a whole lot of substance there. I think there's a couple of great ideas. There's definitely a couple of great ideas in there, because what I'll never fault any creator for doing is just trying new things, and that's what he did. The emphasis on that game was kind of changing up how a player, someone who is playing the game, looks at movement, and
Yeah.
how movement itself is it's this tiny little mini game of balancing as you're walking forward while you're carrying these large compartments of boxes and stuff like that, and you're trying not to fall over, and you're trying to keep things, and that's what it was. It was just that wrapped in a very, very, I'll say, shallow mess of ideas of Kojima's, because I see it all the time with his ideas. You got your strange inky creatures from from the other world, and guys carrying babies, and it's literally just concept art, the game.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Yeah.
To be honest, I agree with that.
Yeah. So you're thinking that with Arcane Studios, with Microsoft's now acquisition of Bethesda, you don't think very much is going to change?
No,
No.
I don't. I mean, okay, so yeah, I'm more happy about Microsoft acquisition of Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest
You're
with
just
you.
you're just hoping for the big red button, aren't you?
Kind of, because do you not think it needs it? I think it needs it. I really do.
I definitely I hate stale content. I hate.
And how long has Bethesda been stale for? A long time.
So many years.
Although I'm so glad that they've let ID Software do their thing.
Oh, what's
with
that?
Doom.
Oh yeah. Doom, I definitely is an exception. hell, I'm playing the soundtrack right now. I think it's a fantastic game. I think Eternal is definitely a lot better than 2016, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's phenomenal, and that's what we see when you actually, you actually get your creative freedom.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's definitely a certain balance, and funny enough, I think I can tie Kojima back into this conversation on that, where you see what happens with Death Stranding, a very kind of hollow game that everyone forgot about in a few months, and what was the big thing that they were touting with that? It's Kojima. It's Kojima. It's Kojima with all the freedom in the world. No longer does he have to. What did he work for before? Konami, was it?
Yeah, Konami. That's right. Yeah.
Well, he no longer has to, be oppressed by Konami and the publishers and their producers and everything. It's just complete creative freedom, and he made a very mediocre game.
Yeah. So
I think
and again,
I think there's a fine line. Yeah, I think there's a balance to be struck there.
So then let's tie it back. Then is creative freedom good for these studios?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Always.
I think it's. I lean on the side of obviously yes, but I also lean on the side of there's arguments to be made for when you let your star kind of run out there and just do as he likes or as she likes, and when you kind of have to pull them back.
Yeah.
All right. So coming from there, and speaking of creators that left previous companies, there's a segue. We have a Polygon article. Silent Hill creator teases new horror game project. The creator of Siren and Gravity Rush, neither of which I've played. I've seen Gravity Rush though. Looks interesting. Creator Keiichiro Toyama has a new game studio, and he's opened up a game studio a little while back called Bokeh Studio. Bokeh Game Studio, yeah. Damas with the game director, with game director Junya Okura and producer Kazunobu Sato. Both people have worked on Siren, and from what I'm looking at the images, I don't know if you can see my stream. It looks pretty interesting. I don't know how much a fan of horror exactly are you?
Well, horror is my favorite genre to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Playing is a little bit different. So we were talking about Amnesia earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So the original Amnesia, I think, is a phenomenal game.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, my name is also Daniel, like the main character. So having my name whispered to me is terrifying.
Oh, that's a whole different experience, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've never finished a game because I can't get through it.
Oh, that's great.
But I do really like it. But other than that, horror I absolutely love. It's just that too many. I don't really like jump scares anymore. I want to move on to more psychological and things like that.
Well, the best horror, the old saying of the best horror is the kind that stays with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I totally agree. Did you ever happen to play Soma?
Oh, Soma's really good.
Oh yes, I know a few people who disagree with you, but of course they're wrong.
Yeah, they are.
Soma's a fantastic game. That was a really good, I think, on the psychological aspects, the questions that it asks you, and in the way they very expertly present you with choices and such. I think it's absolutely phenomenal game, and from what we have on the Bokeh Studio side, it looks. I don't know if you can see the screenshot that I'm looking at. It looks kind of interesting. It looks very cult-like. Now, personally, for me, I have a very I think a strong bias towards cult-like stuff. I really like the Cthulhu aspects and such like that, but specifically with like Lovecraftian horror. But just at base level, I do love anything to do with cults. Very fun. I don't know, and this looks very interesting. This little thing that he released. If we scroll down a little bit, this was also released around New Year's. A little bit of art, I'm assuming, of the game to come. Which is very beautiful, first of all. Really dig it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing about Agony. Do you remember when Agony was promoted?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that little horror game.
Yeah,
and that looked like it was going to be a good game, and then it turned out to just be trash.
So, I have such a soft spot for Agony in that I want it to be good. I know it's absolutely garbage. I wanted that game to be good, and I still love the environments. I don't know who they got as the environmental artist on that game, but holy crap, they killed it. I loved the portrayal of hell in that game. I don't know about you, but just like the sand or the sky boxes and everything that you see, the huge walls, just the scale of it. It brought me back to like those to those 80s kind of like I guess that thing like back in the 80s where all the artists and all the writers and everything they had in their worlds and in their stories, like in Dune or what have you, it was all just over the top. You know, the scale of things was just ridiculously high. You know, and that's what it kind of reminded me of, and I always loved that. I always love that scale of things.
No, I know where you're coming from with that. I do agree with you. I do. But I don't know. I guess you gotta be a bit more. You gotta give me something more these days, I think.
Oh no, absolutely, I agree. Again, I'm coming from being an artist. I see this stuff and I see all the potential, and then I hear what the games actually are, what the stories actually are, and yeah, I get brought down so low by that.
At least you can appreciate it from that side of things, you know. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. So that is something to look forward to. Always love the prospects of a new horror game on the horizon out there.
Yeah.
I'll be following that for a little while, see if anything comes out of it.
I really hope it goes well for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And after that, I didn't read too much into this. I didn't actually get a chance to. I found this a little last second today. Outriders, the new demo that was released. Let's see here. Let me lower the music a little bit because that's getting a little loud.
Yeah, Outriders.
Outriders will permanently brand cheaters. Despite being co-op only, Outriders is taking a tough stance on cheats. During the Outriders demo period, developer People Can Fly has so far identified 200 cheaters out of around 2 million total participants. While the number is relatively small, the devs don't plan to go easy on them or any future players who think they can get away with it. As reported by PC Gamer, the studio has announced that cheaters will receive a permanent on-screen brand for even one infringement. Punishment is described as a discrete but visible watermark that will be overlaid on cheaters' screens, permanently marking them as untrustworthy. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, like I said to you earlier, I think every game should have that, to be honest.
It's something that just permanently let people know that they are cheaters. Now, I guess my question comes in, what is exactly the effects? What are they hoping will be the effects of this?
Well, they're hoping that people don't cheat as much, but of course it's not a way to discourage cheating, because if there's a quicker way to do something, they're going to do it regardless.
Exactly. So my idea here, well, my thought process is here, I appreciate the sentiment, but I think it's ultimately fruitless, and that people will continue to cheat anyway. If that's all this watermark does, is just lets people know that they're cheaters, that they're still going to cheat. Some people are absolutely haphazard about it. They really do not care who knows. I've seen it in lobbies plenty of times with COD, Overwatch, you name it. People don't care sometimes.
No, you're right, of course.
So I guess yeah, that's my point. Is that in the end, I think they need to do more.
Well, what would you suggest they do?
Unfortunately, I don't have enough experience when it comes to coding, or particularly hosting these large servers that I'm sure these enormous corporations have. So I couldn't say, like, make the cheat engine better, the anti-cheat engine or whatever have you. But I think certainly would be within their power, within their right, to remove certain abilities to do things, I guess, in game for cheaters. Not an outright ban, but well, maybe an outright ban, but also just I don't know, hit removal of items, removal of certain features, bans from like the multiplayer stuff, the co-ops, just stuff like that, I guess, after several infringements.
Yeah, it just seems to me that even banning accounts doesn't really pay off because
Yeah,
people
they
just get a new
make
account.
new ones. They just make more and more Smurf accounts. It's the big issue.
So I don't know
there.
what the answer. I don't know what the answer would be.
Mm.
I don't have one for you. I don't
Yeah.
know a better way to do
Yeah.
it. But
No,
branding them.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say branding them's a start, I suppose, but it's only the same as when PvP games put them in the same lobbies. You know, someone caught cheating, they put cheaters in the same lobby, so they just play with other cheaters constantly.
Yeah.
But again, they just make another account.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess taking the items off you would help because you've cheated to get them items. But then I don't know.
Then they'll cheat and get them again.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So how do you get around it? The only way you get around it really is banning an IP address, right?
I suppose so.
But then if you ban that, it's VPNs.
Yep.
So
VPNs, it's just a tug of war.
There's a way around everything. That's the thing. There's a way around everything. So it's nice that they're doing something they've already thought about before it's even out, you know?
Absolutely.
Because no one likes to cheat it at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
No one. I don't know how you have self-respect if you do that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But at the same
it's
time,
just, like, what's the point? Honestly.
yeah.
Hell cause
that
hang till dead.
Yeah, hang till
Oh
dead.
my god.
Well, that's an option, I guess. It is. I'm not against the option, but for the purpose of Twitch and the TOA, I'm going to say not a good idea.
Hang till dead in Minecraft. There you go.
Yeah, 1v1 on Rust. Maybe that's the answer. They get automatically transferred to Rust. You have to do 1v1.
Watch out. I that sounds like something Nintendo would do, right?
You're probably right.
You know?
Nintendo.
They're trigger happy enough to show up at your house with some rope.
Yeah.
In fact, I shouldn't say that too loudly.
Oh,
this being
not.
our first
Nintendo
episode and all.
Yeah, Nintendo will hear.
I'm sorry. Who's the creator of Nintendo right now? Who's the big guy?
I don't know. Mr. Nintendo.
Mr. Nintendo. I'm sorry, Mr. John Nintendo.
John Nintendo. That's it. That's his name. I think he's in Die Hard 3. John Nintendo. I think he's in that.
But
I remember him distinctly having to race around in Mario Kart to save the world.
Oh
defeat
yeah.
the terrorists.
Yeah, of course. Gotta watch out for the glass on the floor.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Anybody just joining in, thank you so much. Welcome. This is I guess we're the OddFellows. This is my buddy Winfell. I'm Odd Mimic. We're here.
Hey everyone, how is it going?
We're here to just talk about video games, talk about news, have some discussions, maybe watch some trailers. Sit back, enjoy. Probably gonna be going on for what do you think? Maybe another hour, maybe 45 minutes. We still got some stuff on the docket.
It's gone quite quick, but I'm not even I'm not felt it yet. I sent you a link on Discord as well if you want to get that up because I'm going through your stream at the moment on mine.
Oh yeah, all right.
I've just got your stream up on mine to so it's easier to do it that way.
Oh, okay. Let me see. All right. Well, yeah. Hang back, get yourself some food, enjoy a nice afternoon or evening wherever it is you are. I know it's it's evening for this guy.
Definitely is. It's 11 p.m. Yeah, nearly. Is it? What time is it? I don't know what time is it.
I think it's only 9 o'clock
9
for
p.m.
you. Yeah, there you go.
9 p.m.
11. We haven't been going that long.
Oh no, I've got some tea cakes. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
What kind?
They're like marshmallow inside.
I think I have.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Milk chocolate with marshmallow.
All I've got is a nutritional body armor water because I need to diet.
I do have a smoothie in the fridge which I could go get.
So we got, I guess, to finish off my little docket of news, we have Risk of Rain 2 getting a nice and what is described as a massive anniversary update and a giant number of returning players. Nice game. I don't know if you've ever played.
Yeah, Risk of Rain are very good games and they're very good cooperative games as well.
You played both?
Yeah. And I always say as well that I'm glad this is getting more players, because I always say the weekend is for non-PvP games.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't on the weekend should be a nice chill, relaxing time. And I'm always saying on my stream, don't do PvP games on the weekend because it brings out the worst. You get everyone on it, off work and everything, out of school. It's just horrible.
I just don't do PvP games.
Well, I mean, that's the other way to do it, but I choose to do co-op instead on the weekends and just chill and, not be stressed the whole week. And I think Risk of Rain is good for that. I do.
Oh, I really enjoyed Risk of Rain. I remember the first one. I had a really tough time with it. Just the platforming, the 2D version. It was tough. It was tough. I couldn't get into it as much. But Risk of Rain 2, I had a phenomenal time with. I absolutely love roguelike or roguelites. I can never understand which one it is. Is it like or is it light? Is it roguelite or roguelike?
Roguelike.
I think it's roguelike. I don't know because I've seen light as well. It's so strange. But yeah, apparently there's some new updates, a new characters, a cowboy, a bunch of different fixes and updates. And I remember absolutely loving the shit out of it. It's a lot of fun to play, and it's great co-op as well. Something I really love about the genre in general is just the format of going through levels and levels and levels. It actually kind of reminded me of Firefight in Halo back in the day. Just the waves and waves and waves of hordes. Just getting harder and harder and harder. Brought me back to that.
I will say I don't know a game that's done so well going from 2D to 3D the way they did.
You know what? I completely agree. That's
because I got to be honest, when they went from 2D, I doubted they could do it. Mm-hmm. But Risk of Rain 2 is phenomenal. Like the success it's had. Even Risk of Rain, the first one was good, but the second one, to be able to do that, changing it up, is actually really good.
Oh yeah,
they did really well with that. Mm-hmm. I think that should be mentioned as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you're completely right. Like I don't think there. I'm sure there is. My limited knowledge aside, I don't remember a game that did, as you said, that just went that well from 2D to 3D. It was almost a very natural progression for it, actually.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is, and again, I think that's just so much credit to the developers to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. And which studio was Risk of Rain 2? Do you know off the top of your head?
I should know this. I know I should know this.
I feel like we should both know this.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just going to search for it on Steam for you, just so you know. Risk of Rain.
Thank you.
It is done by... Oh, Gearbox published it.
Gearbox, there you go.
And Hoopoo Games. Oh,
okay. So, yeah, guys, be on the lookout for more content from them. I'm sure they're not finished. And in the meantime, enjoy the update. Another game,
Deadbolt, which is also overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
Oh, yeah.
So they got 3 games, Risk of Rain 1 and 2, and Deadbolt, and all overwhelmingly positive. So well done, team.
Oh, might check that one out. And if you guys haven't checked out Risk of Rain 2, absolutely go for it. If you want a nice, fun co-op kind of thrill, I would say, with your friends, with a friend, definitely go for this game. It's nice. Very good.
It's a great game to buy if you haven't. Mm-hmm. Get it from all key shop people. Best place.
And so, from there... Would you like to go into trailers real quick?
Yeah, do it. Go ahead.
They're only a couple minute teasers. We can talk about them.
Yeah, let's check them.
If you want to hop over to your watch together transition, and I will mute the ominous devil whispering in my ear from Doom. Thank you, Doom. Okay, and so I don't know if this released today or yesterday, but I'm pretty excited. This is a quote-unquote sneak peek trailer at Lord of the Rings Gollum. So let's have a look. Oh no. Uh-oh. One moment, guys. Watch Together's being dumb. You're in here with me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What gives? Why are you doing this to me?
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Must you see us? No, don't look at us. The precious is gone.
wish there was a way to get. Is there a way to get rid of annotations like towards the end? That is very annoying.
I think you have to watch it fully on YouTube.
I guess so. We'll figure it out. But yeah, what do you think?
So, I think having a game with Gollum is a good idea.
I enjoy it. I like the idea. I'd never thought, first of all, that we'd be getting a Lord of the Rings game this year. I didn't think we'd probably hear anything from a Lord of the Rings game IP for quite some time, considering the last one was Shadow of War.
Yeah.
But I dig it. I really like the idea. I love what I'm assuming this is going to be is a game with like stealth mechanics and such, being that you are the diminutive Gollum. You know, you're not exactly a strong adventurer. You're going to be sneaking around a lot, avoiding the orcs and Uruk-hai of Mount Doom and Mordor.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think it's a shame we've not got any gameplay trailer, and it's just
it is very brand new, and in fact that's actually as close to gameplay trailer as you're gonna get, because there's one other. It's incredibly short and has nothing.
Yeah. So all we know for sure that it's got Gollum in it.
Yep, it's got Gollum.
It's in Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
That's as far as we know. We know he's not in space. As far as
we know he's not in space.
No, I mean that could be a good sequel.
You got some ledge climbing there that we just saw. You got some you got a couple things there. So definitely some stealth mechanics, which I'm all for. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you remember that one game for Xbox that came out about 5 years back. I think it was Styx. I think he had the Goblin Rogue that you played.
No, I don't think.
Styx.
Yeah, I know. STYX.
Yeah. That's the one. That kind of reminds me a little bit of that.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's possible though, because if you look, there's quite a few games. There's a like mouse game out, isn't there? There's games about cat. I think there's a cat game coming out, or one about it. So I think being able to hide in the shadows and crawl through little gaps and being a character much lower to the ground is a lot more possible. And to be honest, with the Lord of the Rings games, I don't think any of them have let me down.
Really?
I can't think of one that I've played that I've disliked. From the RTSs, the Shadow Mordor ones.
I never excuse me. I've never actually played the Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of Wars games. I have watched them. They look very neat. Couple of gripes in terms of some of the progression and some of the action and the combat for me on my side, but I think I would need to take a look at it again, because it has been some time since I've seen it. What do you think? What would probably be, I guess, a great question would be, what would be your favorite stealth action franchise, or just even standalone, not necessarily franchise?
Do you know, that is a very good question. I think if you'd asked me 15 years ago, I would have probably have said Metal Gear. But I've just been so disappointed in the last couple of them.
You didn't like Phantom Pain?
I hated it. Not finished it.
Really?
It just wasn't for me. That's all. I think graphics wise and the first hour when you're in the hospital is incredible. But after that, I think it takes a fast nosedive down.
Any of the Tom Clancy?
Well, I was just going to say, I absolutely love the Splinter Cell games. I recently played the original again, more than years ago. It's a bit difficult to get working nowadays, but it plays so well still, and you can still, get on board with it, and it feels right. The mechanics of it are perfect.
Oh, I might go back.
Honestly, it's a bit fiddly. It's a bit fiddly to get started, but the Splinter Cell games, and I was saying actually about 5-6 hours ago that I hope they redo them. I hope they remaster them and bring them out again. If Skyrim can be remastered 200 times, I'm sure they can remaster a Splinter Cell game.
Well, you see, now they've got all that creative freedom. They can just remaster it again.
Well, look at what they did with Hitman when they redid that. I think the latest, that Hitman 1, 2, and 3, the newer ones, they're very good games.
Oh yeah, I think they're very phenomenal.
I think they've done a very good job with them, and I've enjoyed them playing through.
And I probably know the answer on this one, but what do you think of the Assassin's Creed games?
I can't stand them. I can't stomach the Assassin's Creed games, I'm afraid.
What'd you think
for me.
What'd you think of the first two?
The first two, No, again, you see, right from the very first one,
Really?
all it is repetitive gameplay.
Really?
I just can't stand them.
Even
I
back
really
then?
can't. Even back then, even when they first came out, and I played them
Hmm.
as soon as they came out from day one, disliked it.
I had a love-hate relationship with the first game. I thought the second one was a phenomenal improvement,
Yeah.
and I really think they peaked with Brotherhood. I think it was fantastic right there where it was in terms of story, or sorry, narrative, characters, gameplay, and setting. Everything was just working perfectly well together. I hate the road they went down from there, where now it's kind of it feels like it's almost 3 steps short of an MMO, at least
Yeah.
with Odyssey or Origin. I think it was Odyssey or Origin, whichever one's both of those probably. And I couldn't get very far with Valhalla. Could not get very far. I think they're heading in a better direction with it from what I've seen in the combat and the weapons, because the stop me if this sounds familiar. With the last the 2 games prior, it's you find a weapon, you kill somebody, you kill 3 more guys, then you find the same weapon, but it's got slight increase in stats.
Yeah, I mean,
And you
some
just
games work really well. You know, if it's a roguelike game or dungeon crawl, you
Mhm.
expect that. But in an open world game
Mm.
where you're playing an assassin, you want a little
It's
bit more variety.
I'm perfectly fine with variety, but that's like kicking the can down the road. It's like you haven't found a new weapon. Your thing just got stronger. Your stab just got stronger. That's it. That's all
Yeah.
it is. It's no, thank you. And like I said,
No.
I think they're heading in a much better direction with Valhalla in that case. Just in that one aspect, and that you can now upgrade your weapon. You have a set amount of weapons. And it's a very small pool of weapons, and you just kind of pick one, and you kind of go pick 1 or 2, and then you go with that option for the rest of the game, which I appreciate a lot more. It's cuts out the fat, so to speak.
Well, I was going to ask about, did you play Origins?
I did not.
Yeah, I skipped that one as well.
Yeah. I'm fine with the ideas, but I think it's just such a departure at this point from the original ideas, from the original concepts and everything. You
Do you
know,
not think that was needed though?
I don't fault them for doing so, but it just doesn't feel like an assassin type game anymore. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I don't think
get
it's as heavy on the stealth elements as everything is. Now it's just kind of focusing specifically on Abstergo and the Templars and everything, and it's just kind of almost abandoned this idea that this was a stealth game. Yeah, Valhalla has less weapons, but they're fairly different from one another, and that's what I like. Hellcause. That's what I adore. Is when you don't need 1,000 weapons and 50 of them do the same thing. It's perfectly fine to have 5 to 6 to 10, and you just focus on that. You don't need to you don't need to outreach. You could just narrow and focus your view and make what the little things that you have really exceptional. Look at one of my favorite examples to bring up. Look at Shadow of the Colossus. You have 2 weapons in that game, and really you only use one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your sword, and you need that for stabbing the Colossus in their joints and their weak spots, and that's it. You never have to upgrade it. The only time you upgrade anything is your stamina and your health, I believe, with the little lizards that you find crawling around, and you usually use a bow for that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other things to kind of grip your attention on. Didn't really like that they abandoned the Desmond storyline. There you go. That as well.
I guess we're all in agreement that
Yeah.
too many changes spoil their franchise.
Yeah. And for me, I personally jumped off right around 3 when that came out, where it was colonial times and all that stuff. And I just, oh man, if you want to put me to sleep, put me in like the American Civil War. It's like I could not care less.
Being from the UK, I can help. I agree.
Yeah.
Couldn't care less. Honestly,
Could not care
couldn't
less.
care less.
So I guess from there we will go to one more trailer that I have for us today, and that is Haunted Space. Much a bit of a departure from what we've been talking about with stealth games. This is a sci-fi space game. So let's see.
In the second era of the human empire, sonic matter was discovered in the galaxy of Neteron. It was here that humans decided to build the Metal Mother facility to harvest the sonic matter, the most precious element in the universe. But it wasn't long before they discovered they were not alone.
Haunted space.
What you think?
Okay, so yeah. I'm liking the look of that, to be honest with you.
I'm just gonna go ahead and let it play in the background.
Yeah, I'm liking the look of it. I think it reminds me a bit like Descent or something like that, but more open in space, bit more gritty. At least that's the impression I got from the very beginning bit.
Hell, cause that's a meh from me. I have a clear and present and a very self-aware bias of like Cthulhu Lovecraftian type cosmic horrors, and then I when I saw the space whale, I'm on board.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? It's like fighting
Yeah.
massive like leviathans and things.
Yeah,
but alive.
I dig it. I love it. So it has my attention. We will see what happens. I dig the aesthetic. I like the grittier kind of junker type feel of the ships and everything, and the look of it. Feels a little almost Subnautica to me, with some of the creatures in space. Yeah. But and like throw in like space engineers in there as well, because that's what I'm getting from there is like the ship crafting, which I'm assuming is what's gonna be happening. You're gonna be able to create your own ship from the parts and such and such.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's an interesting one. It is because I think it's going to play pretty dull looking at it, to be honest.
I think
if
so.
Well, I was disappointed. Did you ever play EverQuest?
No, but I know of it.
Yeah, so that's a game I should really really enjoy, but I don't because it's just boring. And unfortunately, I think this might go the same route. It's the same with the Star Wars VR thing they did. You know,
Oh yeah, that's Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, something like that.
Really?
It was space, and you know, you got free movement and things. It's just
I haven't enjoyed a Star Wars game since not what was it? It was Battlefront, but it was for I think it was for the PlayStation 2, like way back when. I forget which one it was.
I think the last space game I've played like that or that I've enjoyed was, I think you're too young to remember it, but a game called Colony Wars.
Yep, you got me on that one.
Yeah, it was for the original PlayStation back in the mid-90s.
Oh yeah.
And I played the heck out of it.
I wouldn't be too young to remember it. I just never heard of it.
Yeah, Colony Wars and G Police, like they were phenomenal. I played them a lot.
All right.
And unfortunately, I want to enjoy them because I play EVE Online still every now and then.
Oh really? How was EVE?
Well, I love EVE. I played it for years. But obviously, it's not free movement like that. You know, where you control the ship directly.
Yeah.
But
I have no discernible interest in EVE, but I can appreciate the scale of what they did with that game, where it's an entire enormous economy, and it's just very impressive what they did.
Yeah, it is. You're right. And the fact that it's all play run and it works, it's not like
it just works.
It just works. They got the right balance between economy, gameplay, you know, because you cannot actually do anything you want in EVE, and that's really difficult to do in an MMO where it's player driven. You know, to be able to do that, but they managed it somehow, and I guess that's a big credit to the players
Yeah.
too, not just the developers. The players have to take some credit because I don't think you would get that in WoW or things like that.
Since we're on the subject, let me ask you, what are your opinions on Star Citizen?
Okay, so I played Star Citizen. I've got it.
So have I.
I've had it for a few years now.
Oh yeah, I've had it
They're
since
actually, do you know what? The
2016.
developers are just down the road from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they I go past them all the time.
Oh, can you ask them where the fuck's our game?
I've tempted to because I spent a lot of money on that game, you know. So Star Citizen, I have a lot of hope for. A lot of hope. Like I said, they're just down the road, and yeah, the potential in that game is incredible. But the problem is when a game is that big and it's not even out yet, they should, you know, like how No Man's Sky released and then they fixed the problems and then they extended it. Why couldn't they have done that? Why did they have to try and put everything into it before launching it into 1.0?
I don't know.
It's going to be in early access for 20 years because none of our technology can keep up with the bloody game. You try and play it, it's like 30 frames at best.
Well, that's the thing. Skull and I have actually spoken about this before. We think that the main issue is that they're stuck on the old Unity engine. At least I think that's what it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're stuck on the old Unity engine, and eventually they're gonna have to swap over. But I don't think they want to because that's just too big. They've been working on it for so long. They would have too much to bring over to a different, newer engine, so they kind of have to bash their head against the wall here and just work with what they've got. But I think that might be why it's also taking so long.
Yeah, I think they've got a few things against them.
Absolutely.
I think the idea of sticking too much in it right from the off.
Oh yeah, feature creep. Absolutely. Yeah, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this and that.
Yeah, and I do think they should have just released like a simple thing first and then expanded it over time.
Because I say it all the time.
It's a first-person shooter. It's a space game. It's an exploration game. It's a trading. It's got all these genres in it, and they've not managed to make one of them work yet.
I say it all the time. Creators don't need to, from the get-go, they don't need to have 1,000 things that they're very poor at. You find a couple of core mechanics and you try either innovate or just refresh. You know, like do something new. Something that hasn't been done with those mechanics, with those ideas. And
so here's
that's
I'll
it.
tell you a game I played this week. In fact, I played it yesterday. Magic Legends.
I've not heard of it.
Okay, so obviously it's Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay.
So the card game. It's on Epic, but it's a Dota version. Not Dota. It's a Diablo version of Magic.
Okay.
So it's a Diablo clone. So you know you kill, you loot, you get gold, that sort of thing. But it's unique in the fact that you have to play Magic cards while playing it. So your abilities are cards, and when you use a card, it cycles it back into the deck and you draw another one at random.
Yeah.
So that's how so you don't keep the same abilities and you just spam QWE like you would in Diablo or anything. You literally have cards that you use, and then it gets recycled in the deck.
That's actually really interesting. I've never gotten into Magic. I've tried a couple times. Card games, not really for me.
See, card games are my thing. That's all I stream. I mean, I was streaming it 2 hours ago. Card games.
No, absolutely. Hearthstone, Magic, all that. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I love card games. I love them. Magic is a difficult game to get into, though. It's so... You need a lot of money nowadays to get into Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also it's like learning a different language. Honestly. Hi, Tomato. Welcome to the stream. This is my buddy Winfell, and we're just talking about games, watching some trailers. You just missed a couple.
Twitch.tv Winfell_.
Twitch.tv Winfell_. Yeah, there you go. Little self promo.
I've got mimicking my little my title there, so I know.
But yeah, enjoy. Sit back. We've been going at this for about 45 minutes already.
Yeah, it's true. We're just chilling. It's our first podcast. We're gonna be doing more, expanding it over time. I hope that's the plan.
I hope so. But yeah, we're gonna be here. What are we gonna try for? Like every Friday around this time.
Every Friday around this time works, and then if it goes well, we can extend it to other things.
4 p.m. EST and I guess 8 p.m. whatever.
Yeah,
your
8 p.m.
is.
UK time.
Yeah, UK time. So yeah, come by, enjoy, sit back, relax, and talk with us about us about all the new stuff that happened in gaming this week.
All the games that you've played and hate right now.
Yeah.
So
so have you ever you said you've watched the American The Office, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the bit where they're having a garage sale, quote unquote, with all the office members, and Dwight shows up? I think what was it with like a little packet of beans or something, and he trades his way up all the way to a telescope.
Yeah, and they trade it with Jim for the
Yeah,
magic beans.
Yeah. So besides, or what was it? He started with something and then traded all the way for the magic beans. The first part of that I feel is like my experience with Star Citizen, in that I paid the $22 for the initial little first class ship that they have there, or whatever, the basic buy-in, and from there every few months I would trade that in for a better ship. And just slowly I just go my way up. And then at one point I had a freelancer. I still do have a freelancer, and my favorite ship that they've designed, which was what was it? It was the one with the big two thrusters on the back.
Yeah,
Tiny little one.
I couldn't tell you what it was called, but I forget which one you mean.
What was it called? But yeah, that one. I think it was like the fastest ship that they have, and it's supposed to be like kind of like a little intel runner. And I enjoyed the shit out of that.
All right. Well, so here's a question for you then. So my thing in the last few years, and I remember writing an article on it a few years ago, is that games, people complain about the price of games now. So you look at the PlayStation 5 games, the next gen games, and they're all going to be sold at $70 at release, which is a phenomenal amount of money. You know?
Yeah.
Although, again, we could go into price inflation later on in another day or whatever, but the fact that games cost that much shouldn't be a surprise to people when you think of how much money you spend on a month on your favorite game anyway, whether it's through battle passes now, extra card packs or cosmetics or anything. Games, every game you buy now is going to cost you a few £100. Even single player games have add-ons for cosmetics and stuff like that.
Sure.
So it's not longer about buying a game for a price. So when people complain, this is $70, I'm not going to buy it.
Okay, what do you think about this then? What do you think about this then? If Bethesda,
I already don't like what you
said. Yeah.
This
is why, because I know this is a touchy subject for you.
I'm sorry, but Bethesda triggers me. They trigger me. They set me off. I don't like them.
So Bethesda comes out with their new game, their next Skyrim 2. Electric Boogaloo.
I actually believe that Skyrim 2. Boogaloo.
Oh yeah.
I can imagine it.
They come out with that, and it's got a neat little price tag of $80, and then they have a roadmap of DLCs, patches, and features afterwards, as well as all the TF2 levels of cosmetics. That there's plenty of stuff that you're gonna be paying for.
Lots of hats,
and it's gonna be a subscription. And it's going to be a subscription-based service too, like playing it like online with your friends, whatever. Are you going to pay that $80?
No.
No.
The thing is, so my easy buy. Well, that's true, Cax. To be fair, if that was real. But okay, so look at it this way, right? So when you buy a game now, okay. So I've been saying this for a while. Is that the way games are going? You no longer should have to pay for them up front. Every game is going to be free, and you're going to subscribe to it. That's what's going to happen in the near future. In the next 10 years,
agree.
Every game is going to be subscription-based to play. And that's why things like Google Stadia, it's too soon for Google Stadia. But they've got the right idea, because that's what's about to happen.
Now,
paying $80, $50 for a game is no longer going to be a thing. It's going to be subscribe to that game and play it every week or whatever.
I at most, I think, will ever pay $70 for a game. But
I wouldn't.
But it better be a complete game. It better be a finished game.
This is another problem, because the thing that grinds my gears as well, you pay $70 for a game, right? And then you've also got like $40 expansions coming out every 2 months.
You got the day one. You got the day one 50 gigabyte patch.
Oh, but it's all right, because for that $70, you get an extra 3 guns skins to use. Whatever, mate. Like. So every game's going to be subscription based. I promise you, that's what EA Play, why they've spread across so many platforms now. So it's actually good what they've done. I think that's the right way to go about it.
So I'm
Get
perfectly
rare cosmetics.
I'm perfectly fine paying X amount of money for X game as long as I'm getting what I pay for. Absolutely. I think that's what
Yeah.
most everyone's problems right now is that all these games coming out for 80, 60, 70,
But you not
close to
think that
$100.
DLC should be involved in that? I do. I think DLC should be in that price.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you're going to charge that much, including DLCs, the problem being is there's no trust anymore from consumers that what they're paying for is what they're getting. They're gonna open up a empty game and then just basically live and ride on the promises of, oh, we'll fix it, guys. We got a roadmap already of patches and DLCs coming. It'll be totally worth it in about 6 months, and I don't think people stand for that.
No,
At least
I
not
agree.
anymore. I think they're starting to really get irked by that.
Do you know what as well? It's interesting to see what happens with Steam, right? Because Steam have a massive monopoly on the PC market,
Mm-hmm.
and rightly so for me. They're doing everything right. You know, they got that remote play together as well. It's incredible.
Oh,
That is
absolutely.
such a good. What they did with that a couple of years ago was, I tell you what, incredible.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's interesting what they're gonna do because with the Xbox Game Pass, with the Ubisoft Play, EA Play, and everything like that spreading across where it's all subscription to play every game on that platform, I wonder how Steam are gonna react to that.
I don't think
Because Steam exactly can't be subscription based.
I don't think Steam is going to change a thing. I
I don't think they could.
I don't think they have competition. Have you looked at Epic Games?
I mean, Epic are a joke to me.
They are a complete joke. They have no user reviews. They have their cart system barely works. They have no forums. They have nothing compared to what Steam has today. And
Yeah, their roadmaps for it all, but they're
and
not introduced
by
yet.
all
So
means,
Caxay says that he buys game based on how much like time he gets to play on them. So if he thinks he's going to get 75 plus hours out of it, he'd buy it. But I mean, how do you judge that from a game? Because what game gives you 75 plus hours other than like an MMO or a roguelike or something like that? Single player games,
Hellcast says,
really gonna give you that.
Hellcast says they got Fortnite though. Get the fuck out of here, Hellcast.
You know what? The amount of money they make on Fortnite. The other day I saw that they made more out of Fortnite in a month than the same month that Marvel's Avengers came out, like Endgame.
Oh my god.
They like tripled their income over that film just on Fortnite. And that's a free game. This is what I mean. Every game's going to be free and be subscription based, or you just buy for the cosmetics.
Absolutely. I think that's exactly where it's heading.
Yeah, I do. I think that's the right way to go about it as well. Like I said, Google Stadia's got the right idea. They've done it too soon. It's poorly executed. But it's exactly what's going to happen. We're not going to be downloading games. We're going to be streaming them.
I'm kind of standing on both sides of this one, or maybe I'm just sitting on the fence on this one, because on the one hand, I do love the idea that now a game can be released. Excuse me, a game can be released, and then 6 months down the road, you get another DLC, and sometimes it's free, sometimes it's a little less. I will never. Again, it's all like balanced. It's like I don't believe in paying the same price of the game for the DLC unless the DLC is almost a whole new game. You know, kind of like the whole controversy with Pokemon Sword and Shield, the way they released half a game with half the Pokemon the national Dex roster of Pokemon, and then they said because we couldn't do it, you know, it's too much for us to do, and then 6 months later they said, oh, here's the other half that we said we couldn't do, and it's for the exact same price, $60. Yeah.
Well, that's Nintendo though.
Yeah,
Nintendo monopoly on their games. And
absolutely.
In fairness to Nintendo, their Mario games, they get better and better every year.
True. But it does set a dangerous precedent of releasing half-baked games, lying to the public, and then just releasing basically the finished version of the game for the exact same price 6 months later. Yeah, that's ridiculous. You just paid for the game twice, and you've been playing it unfinished for 6 months. It's ridiculous. So on that side, in a perfect utopian world, we have a nice $30 price tag on games. They get released, it's great, and then you pay whatever you want for the deal. Not whatever you want, but whatever is requested of you for the DLCs, for the subscription stuff, and it's all just to make the game better, but it's not necessary.
Well, can I ask you as well, because this is a relatively new thing in terms of gaming.
Yeah.
is that what do you think of the amount of collections every game has, from collector's edition to special edition to legendary edition? Because, for instance, you look at Borderlands 3, and I never know which one to buy because there's 5 different editions, and most of them you don't even get the full game with it. And like, I don't even
That's
understand.
what I think about it. It is bullshit.
The complete edition isn't the complete edition.
I'm
You have to get the collector's edition.
I'm perfectly fine with like a legendary edition, a collector's edition, or whatever director's cut it, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm fine with it. But obviously, there's the extreme side of that, like what you just listed, where they have 100 different editions, and it's BS. It's just bullshit.
I think it's incredible as well that no one seems to talk about or acknowledge, and it must have an impact on the amount of money they make or spend on a game.
I suppose.
Is that the difference between buying the game in a physical copy and a digital copy? Because a digital copy should not cost the same as a physical copy.
Mhm.
Because I could go to like a game store and buy the same game for the same price physical, and I get like the disc and the case and everything, but they're getting less money, yet they're selling it the same price digitally where they're getting more of it. So
And a Hellcause DLCs feel more and more like an excuse to release unfinished / short on content games and then charge people twice for the quote unquote extra content. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's me being cynical, but we already have a precedent for these things happening several times over the past few years, where there's no incentive to create and finish a game anymore, especially with early access. Now, mind you, I'm perfectly fine with early access games and crowdfunding. I think it's a great way to give indie devs a foot up in the market and in the communities, and get them forward, because they have indie developers have lots of great ideas, and we've gotten plenty of amazing games because of crowdfunds.
I do think crowdfunding is actually needed, especially to fight these big publishers.
Absolutely, but again, it also gives these big publishers the same fucking shit. It gives them the incentive of let's just release half a game and then just
we
make
can
them
treat
pay.
it like a crowdfunded game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Well, again, you gotta go back, and I know it got a lot of hate, but No Man's Sky, what they've done since it's come out, with every update being free,
absolutely,
every expansion being free, and look at that game now.
That is a diamond in the rough, but it is. It's definitely a testament to what can be done, and there was certainly a lot of flack when that game came out, because I loved the idea and the scale of that game. I loved the ambition. I was wholeheartedly disappointed when it came out, just to how much we've been lied to about some of the stuff.
I'm different. I'm afraid I loved it when it first came out.
I was okay with it, but after hearing everything that started happening about all the things that were missing that we were promised, and the $60 price tag on top of that, I was just very discontent. But props to what was his name? He has a very generic. There you go, Sean Murray.
Just a very English name.
Is
It's
it?
a UK
I think it's a very just generic name. It's like Sean and Murray. And it's like,
I mean, it's very British. I can tell you that.
Oh, okay. He buckled down. Put his head down, put his nose to the grindstone, so to speak, and just pumped out updates and updates and updates. And the fact that each one was free, it just that alone definitely won me over. That was definitely a fantastic move on his part.
Well, I think he just learned from all the mistakes he did leading up to it.
Absolutely.
Promoting the game, and fair play to him, because other companies go the opposite direction.
Oh yeah.
Other companies don't learn. Like, they hate like Bethesda have known for their games being modded by the community to fix their problems. Yet they still release the same issues in the next game they release.
The only reason Skyrim is still even relevant is because of its communities.
Yeah,
Bethesda's
still relevant.
Yeah, you have entire DLC mods, the size of DLCs, entire areas created entirely by their communities, and then these assholes actually have the fucking audacity to take these people down, to take their shit down.
Well, do you remember when they tried to? I didn't like this. I can tell you that. I don't think you'll like it as a designer. Is that those people who are making the mods? When they try to sell them, make money off them. Do you remember that, when you had to pay like $100 for a mod?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I remember when that happened, and I was like, don't ruin gaming for good.
No. Okay, so where I stand on that is, by all means, you want money because you put a lot of time and effort into creating this thing that you think you deserve to be paid for. It's not your IP. I'll say it right there. It's not your IP. It's just a mod. You've put in a lot of work. If you want money, go ahead and ask, but do not demand, because it's not going to look good on you. You can by all means, you can go ahead and do that, but legally speaking, it doesn't look good for you. Community wise, it doesn't look good for you.
Yeah, I think I just used it as a kind of, CV. Put it on my CV of
Yeah.
what I've created.
Yeah, absolutely. Just open a Patreon and say, hey, do you want more mods like this? Throw me some dollars so I can do this full time. Dude, hell yeah, let's do it.
Because you're right, you're making like mods for a game when it's not your IP. It's a difficult one. Like,
Yeah.
respect to the people who do it.
Respect.
I
but,
can't do it.
But again, if you're charging money, that is illegal. You are stealing. You are stealing somebody's IP, or you are taking credit for their IP, and basically making money off of that name.
No, I agree there.
Yeah, but I guess we can from there go into your article of Australia urged to move on from moral panic over video games after Disco Elysium is banned. Calls for changes to classification system after award-winning role-playing game said to offend standards of morality. So I don't think it's a hot take to say that games don't cause violence, games don't cause drug abuse, games don't really cause a change of morality.
Yeah, so the argument here is that obviously some games somehow in 2021 are still not being given license to sell in a country because they have violence or drug use in them.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, I can guarantee films are still being sold over there.
Oh yeah,
that depict the same stuff. So why games any different? I guess because games are targeted generally at younger audiences, perhaps.
I suppose so. But isn't that what we have?
That still doesn't hold up, though. That to me, that doesn't hold up.
Well, doesn't Australia have a rating for games?
Yeah, they did. That's why it's not been, because they've refused to give it a rating.
Oh.
So that's why it's been banned in Australia, because they're refusing to give it a rating.
M for mature. That's it. Done deal.
Yeah, unfortunately, they decided against that. And this is the thing: games shouldn't be okay. You do need censorship in the world. Let's be honest.
A little bit here and there depends on.
Yeah,
it all depends. It's completely contextual.
Well, I'm not talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about things like the most extreme stuff you can think of. I'm not going to name it, but if you think of the most extreme thing you can, then censor that a little bit. Sure, water it down. But when it's just coming down to like drug use or violence and things, people understand that isn't driven from games. People don't look at games. Some idiot might think Grand Theft Auto is still a car.
I was gonna say, like, look at Grand Theft Auto, one of the most successful game franchises to date.
Yeah, but I mean, how many people have actually gone out and done that? I bet there's very few.
Well, how many people have actually gone out and done that and claimed it was because of Grand Theft Auto?
I imagine a few have.
I imagine 1 in a million, but that's not enough to
It's not going to hold up at all.
No, it's not enough. It's not enough to get a what's the word I'm looking for? A through line, I guess, a baseline. I'm bringing correlation and causality and all that shit. It's not enough to establish correlation between video games, and we've been doing this for years. We've been doing this since the 90s, since Doom and Quake in the 90s. Video games don't cause violence. There's no correlation. None whatsoever.
No. I would say, I guess most parents, if we talk about the younger generation a lot, most parents would buy games for the kids as like a present, or like you did well this week or something like that. It's more of a, what's the word? It's more of a, I don't know. Incentive. A video game is an incentive for parents, to buy the kid when they're behaving. It's kind of like Santa Claus is the incentive, isn't it? You tell a kid, if you're good, Santa Claus will buy you something good.
Right.
It's essentially the same thing for most games and most parents, I imagine. But being exposed to a video game, like I think how many games or films I was exposed to as a kid. Like my favorite film when I was in primary school, when I was 7, was Predator. I watched Predator. I'm not lying. I watched Predator every day for 2 years before I went to primary school. I had to watch it, otherwise I wouldn't go to school. Now I don't know what that says about my dad or like my personality, but that never did me any harm. If anything, it just made me appreciate the fact that
Yeah,
there's things out there that can't really hurt me because it's not.
well, yeah, you can separate reality from fiction.
Yeah,
And one of my favorite movies growing up early on was Silence of the Lambs.
that's a terrible film, but I mean,
No,
sure.
no, sir. No, you are incorrect.
I am not. But,
You are
I mean,
horribly incorrect.
just for
This
the
is
sake
not
of
the
the podcast, so I
podcast.
can move on.
This is
But,
not the podcast to talk about on, but you were incorrect. Anyway, yeah, that was one of my favorite. And I remember watching that. I'm like, am I allowed? Am I allowed to be watching this right now?
Yeah.
So this whole moral panic, I can't believe we're still on this even today. Like, have we learned nothing from the 90s?
Honestly, I can't believe we're on it as well. And you see it every now and then. Like, you see, don't you, on the news, like people in their 60s or 70s coming out, some politician or something yelling about, oh, it's corrupting the kids' brains and things like that.
Yeah,
But you know what? Take cartoons off them. Take films off them.
well, it's a slippery slope.
Because they're more exposed to cartoons and films than they are to video games.
Look at old cartoons. You want to talk about violent? I mean, look at Ren and Stimpy. Look at old Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes and all that. They get pretty violent sometimes back then.
Yeah, just because they're in cartoon form doesn't mean that they're not depicting something horrible.
Right. And honestly, we've all grown up around it. I mean, we see it almost every day. We see it in our movies and action films and all such, and that's playing every day. And come on, it comes down to what it's always come down to. The parents need to take responsibility for what their kids are doing.
Isn't that what it is? Just it's a lack of the government thinking that parents can discipline their children or give them morals.
It's very just condescending almost to think like, oh yeah, we need this laws because the children's like, well, don't you trust your own people to parent their children? I don't know.
Yeah, for me, not giving a game, especially a game that, it's just disappointing is all. I just hate the fact that people dislike what games show when there's nothing new there, and there's no evidence to prove that I'm gonna go out and start taking drugs because of a game or anything like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because a video game is all about doing something you shouldn't be able to do in real life.
That's all it is. It's just a fantasy.
Do you think
that's what it's always been.
Do you think I fly around in Anthem, for instance, and think I can suddenly get on a suit and go around shooting critters and stuff? No.
I mean, people are still trying to make an
Call of
Iron
Duty.
Man suit.
I'm not going to run around like Call of Duty. I'm going to shoot around the street.
And that's the thing. It comes down to that. It's like 1 person out of 10 million does something stupid because of a video game. Do you really think they were never going to do anything stupid until they saw that video game? Sounds like if they were at that place in their life, they were going to do something regardless. It didn't matter what was going to push them over the edge.
Yeah, you're right. It's like that game. Do you remember Bully? I don't know if you remember it.
Oh yeah, I remember Bully.
When Bully came out, and they got that banned for a while because they're like, oh, kids are going to get bullied at school. Well, guess what, mate? Kids got bullied in school every single day.
People have been getting bullied.
Every single classroom has a bully. Every single classroom has a bullied
People
kid.
have been getting bullied since the concept of school has begun.
Exactly. So banning a game because it's got a kid beating up another kid. Who cares?
Yeah.
It happens.
It happens.
The fact that the game's been made, it's because it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with South Park. I love South Park. You shouldn't blame South Park for depicting this nonsense when all they're doing is telling you this nonsense exists.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to the root of the problem rather than blaming the actual show or the people making light of it. And that should cheer people up when they think about it. Oh, I had a bad time at school. Let's have a laugh about it.
Yeah. That's it.
All
right, what do you got
next? I will say Disco Elysium isn't shooting up heroin or something. You shouldn't have a good time with that. By the way, don't do that. No, I'm not saying that about this game. Don't remember the good times of this game. just enjoy it and move on with your day.
Yep.
That's all you should do. Well, shame on you, Australia. Shame on you.
So what do you got next?
Well, I don't get what's in it from either of them. I don't get it either. The agenda behind it.
If there's an agenda behind the whole blame the games movement, I do not get what. Yeah, form of control, form of censorship.
Well, you also look at it, right? Look at it from the government's point of view. How much money do they make off video games?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you they make a ton off the tax and everything.
Well, again, I think it mostly comes from very out of touch politicians, the pearl clutchers, as it were, the think of the children types. all that.
Think of the children types.
Oh, that's really all it is. It's a big scream of just think of the children. You know, that's all it is.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
You're probably right. You know, you're probably right there.
I don't think it's even an agenda necessarily. It's just a puritanical view of the world that they are trying to inflict on other people.
I remember when I was younger, I used to go outside. I didn't always play video games. I mean, I did, but you know, I had a Mega Drive back then. There's no internet, so you're gonna get bored of like cannon fodder at some point. I remember being outside once, and I was climbing on a wall. Probably shouldn't be climbing on it, but I wasn't even 10. I wasn't in high school. Climbing on this wall, and this guy starts yelling at me from a house. You know, telling me I shouldn't be doing that. That I'm just a little, basically calling me a little horrible thing. And I went back and I told my dad, because you know what else you do. So I told my dad, and he wasn't particularly happy about this situation, and he happened to know the guy. So I remember him going to this guy's door and telling him in no uncertain terms that you don't tell my kid what to do because he's my kid. And if anything happens to him, it's my responsibility. That's the start and end of it.
Yeah.
So if you've got something to say something to me and not him. But at the end of the day, I'll be in charge of whether he should be doing something bad or not.
Yeah, and that's how
and
it
that's
goes.
what it comes down to with games. It's the parents' responsibility to judge whether it's appropriate for their child or not. And I guarantee Predator when I was 7 was not appropriate, but you know, it is what it is.
I mean, you grew up fine. You're not a
Well,
murderer.
that's what you think.
You're not a murderer out there in the Congo hunting down soldiers.
No, I mean, I'm yet to get my Gatling gun, but I'm looking forward to the day I get one. I can tell you that.
I'm looking forward to my bionic arm Gatling gun attachment.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? And then they can tell me what I can and can't do. That's fine. Then they can tell me in the streets, but no, until I get my Gatling gun, don't tell me what I can play and what I can't play.
So, what next do you have on the docket? What else are we looking at?
Oh, it was Nintendo, wasn't it?
What's Nintendo done now?
Okay, I'll send you this one as well. Because like I said, I'm just going for your stream at the moment. I'll get a better way to do things for the next one.
No worries. Oh, that's right. Mario dies on the 31st of March. They're gonna murder Mario. They're just gonna euthanize Mario live on stream.
That's right.
Do I dare to hit the big play button on this video?
Don't worry, but it's just the trailer for the game.
Oh, okay.
So this goes back to what I was saying to you earlier about Nintendo and things like. They've been doing it for a while, haven't they, Nintendo? They limit their console availability to drive sales. And I guess we've seen that recently with the 30 series of graphics cards, because how hard is it to get one of them at the moment?
Oh, yeah.
They limit them, drive the sales. So people like, it's the same as in a shop. If you see something missing on a shop's shelf, you're like, I want one.
Yeah. It's just basic.
And this is what Nintendo do. But unfortunately, what they're doing here is they're removing, and they've always said this, it's not been hidden. From day one when they released the Mario 3D All-Stars thing, the 3 games, they always said it would no longer be available from the 31st of March in 2021. So they're going to pull it off the store in the end of the month, which is next Wednesday, something like that. It's next week anyway. I just think that's a shame because, again, it's driving their sales, but at the same time, it's costing people who want that game now. So if a family want that game in the future, they're gonna have to spend probably double the price to get it from someone else offline, online.
Oh, double, triple the price.
And that's
old
the disappointing
Nintendo
thing.
games, old GameCube games, they suffer insane prices now.
Well, that's just it, and that's the sad thing about it, because Nintendo is the prime example of family entertainment and playing together on the sofa. And yet, by doing this, all they're doing is driving the cost up for people who actually want it.
Yep.
Because you're gonna have to buy it off eBay for double the price or triple the price. And it's just a sad experience.
It's basic supply and demand. They control the supply, and by that point, they control the demand.
And Nintendo games are incredible as well. They've got such a monopoly on it and how good they are. Because no one else sells Nintendo games. They're not for any other platform. So you can't sell at cheaper price. You have to get them the price they're at, and it's just. I just think it's disappointing.
They have a lot of iconic characters, games that have been around with us for so very long, and they're one of those. They're one of those. Oh, hold on! Don't play that. They're one of those companies that I always say has almost a deliberate dislike of their audiences.
Do you think?
It's almost like they go out of their way sometimes, and it's becoming often over the years. They almost, it almost seems like they go out of their way to look bad. Like the things that they do in order to quote unquote protect their IPs. And I guess like this can also go back to like what we were talking about with Bethesda and their modders and stuff like that. All the things surrounding Nintendo with people that just want to show their love for the games that they've been with for so many years and creating mods and stuff like that. And then just Nintendo going after those people. Nintendo just going after tournaments for different things. And like there was an article about a Splatoon tournament about a month or two back, where they offered up an entire $5 as the prize for winning a Splatoon tournament. Right, the professional players on YouTube, all the big leaguers decided, oh fuck it, yeah, we'll do it. Let's go have some fun. This will be hilarious. You know, we're playing for $5. Why not? They went, they did it. The person who won never even got his money.
Didn't even get the $5.
Didn't even get the $5. Like, how bad do you? Like, it's almost deliberate. It's like, what can we get away with today? How shitty can we look? How much of an Uncle Scrooge can we look like today with Nintendo?
I will say, Nintendo don't always look great, do they? Because when they were stopping or like getting streamers banned or things for playing their games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did it on YouTube. They were like shutting the channels down.
They just removed their entire library of songs. They just purged YouTube and several other platforms of all their songs. You can't even play them anymore. That's it. They're gone.
It's not right, and it's not a way to promote your games either. Because the thing about streaming is that people play Fortnite more because of Twitch and because of YouTube. Yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't always be popular, or but games, they thrive on the streaming communities and the YouTube communities and things like that.
I just don't
because
understand.
It's just free promotion for you. You literally do nothing as a developer. You just sit back.
That's the thing.
Someone plays it and people buy your game. I bought Rogue Legacy, and what's the other one? Dark Cells, is it?
Dark Cells,
yeah. I bought them just because Day 9 was playing them. Day 9 was playing them games, and because I love Day 9. If you haven't watched him, please watch him. I'd love to lick him from head to toe. Please tell him that. Big fan. But because he was playing them, I was like, you know what, this guy's having fun playing it, and because he's been honest about, laughing about. I bought them just on the back of that. I'd never even heard of them. And they're some of the best games I've played. Yeah, you just bought Stone Shard because of a stream. I love Stone Shard, by the way. I've streamed it. It's good Stone Shard. Good game, that Grizz. But again, streaming and YouTube, you should not punish someone for playing your game. And this is why I hate when companies put out, I get it, the NDAs they have on a beta, or don't stream out beta and stuff. But people want to know what it's about, and people will always want to read up about it, or read PC Gamer or IGN about it. Stream it. That's the best way to get out, because this community at the moment, the youth coming through and stuff like that, they watch it in school on their phones together. Just get out there. It's free promotion. You do nothing. Free promotion. And Nintendo shutting that down is such a disgrace, because again, Nintendo is aimed for families.
Absolutely.
And couch play. Yeah. It's one of the few platforms left where you can play games on the sofa with your friends and family. One of the very few platforms.
I was having this conversation with a friend of mine like a couple months back, or maybe a little sooner. I just don't understand what exactly they have to gain from being this
they just look
destructive to their own reputation. They just look bad. So best case scenario, you have a small indie dev that created, and this is almost like word for word something that has happened. This is just a scenario I'm creating in my mind, but this has almost happened. Like a small indie dev that creates a great mod, expansion, DLC, whatever, online because of his love of the game. I think it was for Mario or for Pokemon or something back in the day. And he's like, hey, Nintendo, look at what I did. This is how much I love your game. They struck him, they took it down, and they gave him a fine. Now, Nintendo, why the fuck would you do that?
Oh, that's telling you right there.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah, what I was telling you there is that we care so much, or we don't want you to
He
enjoy our game
he
that
wasn't
much that you show us.
he wasn't making money off of it. He was literally doing it just for a pat on the head from Big Daddy Nintendo. And instead you club him and take his
Yeah.
money and
Mr.
say
Nintendo is
don't
harsh.
do that again.
When Mr. Nintendo disciplines you, it's with a belt buckle. Let me tell you,
For
he
real?
goes hard. Yeah, honestly, it's horrible, and it's just so. Again, it's disappointing because, like I said, it's one of the few platforms where every game is designed to play together on the sofa rather than online.
Yeah. And it's
It's it's shocking. That
Wouldn't
it was
it
shut down
not-
to one who's trying to improve your community.
Would
in
it
your game.
not have been more beneficial to them? They could literally have nothing but gained from this to say, hey guys, check out this community member. Look at his passion and his drive for our IPs and for our ideas, and look at the art that he's created in doing so. Why don't you go check him out? And hey, here's a free copy of our newest game or something because we really appreciate you. And
Do you know what?
do you not realize like the world would just like fall in love with Nintendo overnight if something like that happened?
Well, this is why. So Nintendo are stuck, and I guess it's because of the massive monopoly they got on their platform. They get to decide what we show and what we don't, and what we develop. Is that they're still stuck in like the 80s or 90s in terms of what they think is happening with gaming.
Absolutely.
So it's like they're not even paying attention. So I kind of refer to, in my last job, I was in charge of hiring staff as well, right? So when I was hiring people, the boss said to me, he was like, don't hire anyone with piercings. I was like, why? He went, because they look bad and it's just not good. I was like, but it's 2020. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
The hell do you
Like,
mean?
no one cares. Just hire them.
I understand a certain
But
presentation of yourself professionally.
yeah, but it's not like I'm asking them to got like nipple piercings or
Yeah,
anything. But this is what Nintendo are doing. Their streamers, they're scanning them, thinking, right, you're not good enough to showcase our games because you're showing your community, and you might. Do you know what it is? It's the fact that if I'm streaming Mario, right? I'm streaming Mario, I don't know, 3D or whatever, Mario 64. Let's say I'm playing Mario 64. Nintendo wouldn't like it if I'm playing that game. I come across a bug and I laugh because they're like, "Why are you embarrassing us?" That's what it is. It's embarrassment because you might find something in one of their games that you could improve or that you don't like, and they don't want you to share it with others.
I guess
because
not.
they might not have seen that problem.
I guess not. It's just such a bizarre way because like they could endear themselves to their communities so much more than they already have just by putting out a hand,
They hate
gentle
criticism.
hand. Yeah, they
Hate it. They hate criticism. You criticize anything about them, and they're like, "I'm shutting you down." And it's so archaic. It's like, do you watch Jim Sterling? Okay, well, there's a few. He's got another one at the moment, but there's a couple of developers that have tried to sue him and shut his channel down because he said he criticized them in a review. The problem is when you do that, it just makes you look like a petty kid.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
if it's like I said, if you're putting your work on there, whether it's writing or drawing or painting or game or film, and you can't take criticism, you're in the wrong business.
There's good
There's
criticism.
a difference between there's a difference between
and bad.
constructive and there's
Yeah.
a difference between like you should hang because of this, right?
Yeah.
Don't do that. But if you can't take constructive criticism or somebody saying why did you do it this way, not that way,
Yeah. If
because everyone's got an opinion.
if they don't have an argument, don't bother listening to it. But
Yeah.
if they do, hear them out. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
But you shouldn't like just say to them, okay, I'm gonna get you shut down, do
No,
everything in my
it's-
power to
it's
make sure
petty.
no one ever reads your stuff because you didn't like what I did.
It's absolutely petty.
And yeah, that's Nintendo for you. That's what they're doing. But yeah, going back to the original thing about this
Oh yeah.
driving prices up, I don't like it at all. And
Shitty
it's
business
anti-gaming. This is anti-gaming. What Nintendo are doing. But they have been honest from the start. I will say that from the very beginning, when the day this launched, they did say it was no longer going to be available on the 31st of March. Unfortunately, I've still not bought it, so I need to do that this weekend because I do really want it.
I might.
So I will be doing.
I just
So I love
might.
Nintendo. I love my Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Playing Hollow Knight on my Switch right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
I'm
fantastic.
playing, what
Took
am
me a while to get there, but I got there.
I'm actually playing Pokemon Sword.
Oh, very nice.
The only reason I love Pokemon games anyway, even though they're all the same. They're another game that's just like reskinned and sent out red, blue, yellow, orange, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I
But I
stopped.
still played them all.
That's why I stopped after Pink and Diamond and Pearl.
Well, I like this one, the fact that it's based loosely on the UK.
What did you think of the new one that we just got a trailer for? The what's it called?
Isn't that Snap? Is it Snap?
Not Snap. No. The
They were doing Snap, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
I think they were doing Snap, but they're redoing Diamond and Pearl now. That's what it is. But it's open world. I don't know if you've seen. Oh, Legend of Arceus. That's what it was. Sorry.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Arceus Legends. Oh, hey, let's go watch a trailer then.
Let's do that. Yeah, I love my trailers. Let's check it out.
Right, let me pull something up. Thank you, Helcaz. Legend.
So when's this one out? Is this one out this year as well?
I don't know. Arceus.
So do you think as well, because there's a real discussion in there for is open world beneficial or not in a game? Because every game seems to want to go open world. Even Halo's going open world with Infinite, and it doesn't always work. Like some, just because open world doesn't make it good. Look at Fallout 76 and the shit that came. But then again, that was because they refused to put NPCs in it because they were lazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's inherently bad, but I think the industry.
But that's what I didn't like about Metal Gear. I didn't like that it was open world.
I think it has too. I think the industry has too much stake in it, or stake on it. Like they put too much value on it. I think
that's actually a good way of putting it. I think you're perfectly right. There's too much value on open world.
I think they don't realize that it's perfectly fine to have a small and not overly ambitious game. I think they think every game now has to be the scale of Breath of the Wild or Skyrim or.
And we've just cycled back into Star Citizen.
Yeah, there you go.
Just rein it in, lads. Rein it. I'll knock on the door tomorrow and be like, "Hey, boys, listen. I've been talking with a pal. Only thing is just launch the game now and get it over and done with.
Yep.
Just cut 90% of what you got, launch it, and then work from there."
All right, let's see. All right, I got it up. Video. Oh no! Pause. Transition. Right, here we go.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Surprised you missed this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, do I have the? I'm sorry, I have it muted. That's my bad. I'm sorry, guys. One sec. Wait, do I have it muted? Yes.
No, you haven't got muted.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you have. I can hear it, but I'm watching it on yours. So essentially what they've already done with Sword and Shield, isn't it?
They're just taking it to the next step.
Yeah.
That frame rate.
Because I thought you can crouch. I'm on board.
Oh, yeah.
If I can teabag a Pokemon, I'm buying this game straight up. I will teabag the shit out of a Pikachu. I will. Please let me teabag. That's my favorite Pokemon, by the way. The left one, Cyndaquil.
I just want to put my nuts on a Pikachu's face, please.
Yeah, that's it. And electrify me while I'm doing it.
That's the dream.
Hit me with a bolt of lightning while teabagging him.
So apparently this is back in the day, quote unquote, of the Pokemon regions, as you see.
It's like a prequel.
It's a very archaic type of Pokeball.
Okay.
But it's
yeah, there is a new Pokemon Snap. I knew there was.
Yes, and they are remaking Diamond and Pearl to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Okay, and I'm assuming they're just like Pokemon Sword and Shield. You have to buy them both to get the full lot.
Yeah, probably.
That's a shame. But I mean, Pokemon is a massive seller still. It's huge.
Oh, absolutely. So, I am cautiously excited.
Yeah.
For this, I love the idea of what we're basically seeing here as Breath of the Wild meets Pokemon, and I've been saying they should have been doing that since like Gen 3.
Yeah,
it's great. Elephant in the room, I don't think it's anywhere near finished from what we've seen. I really hope that that's not the polished look, quote unquote, because it looks as far as character models, as far as frame rate, as far as all that goes. It looks very.
When did they say it was out?
I don't think it did. Wait one
Uh.
second. Black Cat Tiama rating with a party of 9. Hey, yo, what's up? Jello, thank you. We got rated.
Nice Jello.
Thank you so much. Welcome, guys. We're just talking about Pokemon. We're looking at Pokemon Legends Arceus. A little late to the discussion, but my friend Winfell here has not seen the trailer.
True, I haven't.
But here, I'll just replay it in the background as we talk. Come on, enter. Damn it.
It's just about teabagging Pokemon.
It's just about teabagging Pokemon. That's the dream.
Arceus is gonna suck. Maybe.
Hot take: Arceus is gonna suck. We'll see. We will see. I definitely don't know because, again, if what we're getting is the base product, if that's it, it's gonna suck. I hope this isn't the polished version of what we're seeing. I hope it's just unfinished and we're just getting a little sneak peek, and hope by the time that it releases, it'll all be good. That's all I'm hoping for.
I mean, that's all we're all hoping for. I mean, I was really impressed. I don't know if you ever played it, Temtem. Temtem gave Pokemon a real run for their money.
Oh yeah.
And I enjoyed Temtem when I played it.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was good.
I liked it. I want to love Pokemon. I just need them to fucking mix it up a little harder, you know?
Do you know what drives me insane even when I play Sword and Shield now? Is that the characters don't like have voices.
Yeah.
What? It just drives me nuts.
Yeah. And Jello says the models look bad against the real environments, to be honest. Yes, and that's why I'm saying I'm hoping this is just early development stages.
It could just be placeholders.
I'm hoping so. I don't know why they would release the look of things this early, but I hope there's a big heaping helping of elbow grease and polish to be going into this. Oh my god, Jello, you gifted 5 subs? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't be nice on my stream. What are you doing? You're gonna throw me off now. Appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, I really do hope it is just early stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
And I hope there's a lot more polish to come, because honestly, I would love my big concept idea for a great open world Pokemon game is literally just take Breath of the Wild and put Pokemon in it. You have your flying dragons, the Nidras or whatever the fuck they're called that you run into in Breath of the Wild. Just have that be like just a fucking Charizard or something. Have yourself be running around as a trainer. You stop somewhere, you throw your Pokemon out, and then the camera changes to their perspective. It changes to them. Now you have moves, Pokemon moves, 4 of them on cooldown, and you can run around. You can scale the walls. You can jump in the air. You can, whatever. You're a Pokemon. You can fucking do all this super cool shit. And now you're fighting each other. Like, let's go. Sword and Shield is hot garbage. As long as it's not that, it won't be the worst Pokemon game, at least. I mean, I think we're gonna see Diamond and Pearl as a contender for Sword and Shield. We'll see if they learned their lesson or not with Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl, or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean, it looks interesting. I mean, I'm probably gonna buy it regardless if I play it or not.
I think I might, just because again, it looks really cool. It looks like a nice mix up of the formula. I'm sick and tired of the same old stale formula.
But again, it comes back to the fact that Nintendo's got a monopoly on this sort of thing, so there's no reference for them to change the game up. If this was a genre like a first-person shooter, it can take ideas of other games, but with Pokemon, it's just whatever they want to do with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree.
So they don't have any reference or anything to compare themselves with.
They also just don't have much of an incentive, because just people
That's
just
right.
buy the shit out of the games anyway.
There's no motivation to be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
Diamond and Pearl is a smack in the face of my childhood. The fact that Animal Crossing looks way better is sad. Yeah. I will wait till game day. I will wait till game day to comment on it. But yeah, it's so much. Just don't got a lot to look forward to, do we?
No.
Pixelmon is the open world Pokemon game. They have an open world Pokemon game now. I remember Pixelmon being a mod for Minecraft back in the day. That's all I remember.
Never played Minecraft.
Really?
No,
Really?
I never played it.
You've
never
never
played
played?
it.
You've never?
Skipped it. I was too busy into my Counter-Strike 1.6
This guy.
and all that nonsense.
This guy. Okay, well, we're gonna have to have a Minecraft stream one day.
I went
That's just-
hardcore with it.
That's
I mean, I
just-
don't think my viewers would want to watch me play Minecraft. I don't know. Like we dig for no reason whatsoever.
That's my biggest gripe against Minecraft. It really does need like more end game material or more even mid game material, like more goals and shit. You need bosses to fight. You need stuff to do. There are dungeons now though, luckily. So it could be fun. Let me see. Let me read some comments here. Yeah, this new Pokemon game coming out sounds like a better Pixelmon. It does. Odd, if you need a Minecraft server, let me know. I'm working on doing that. I do have my own Realms server that that is still going currently right now. But if you got a server, maybe I'll come play with you, Tomato. We'll see.
Do it.
All right, but that is our Pokemon discussion for now, I guess. Do you have anything else for us?
Nope.
Is that it?
I think it's been productive, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry. We got rated so late with that. We got 14 people in here now, dude. That's like amazing.
So we're going to be back next week.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna be back Friday.
With a better format, hopefully.
Next week. Build a better format. Thank you everyone who joined in. Jello, thank you so much for the subs. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. Seriously. Just fucking follow.
yeah, anyone that's Odd Mimic, you can get it in the title.
Anybody, Winfell, do I have you in my title? I think I put you in my title. If not, I'll shout you out right now.
Oh, that's awfully kind.
Twitch.tv. I'm archaic with this, so I have to actually type it out. Winfell.
Oh my god, Johnny, I've got a hotkey for it.
There you go, guys. Go follow that link. Twitch.tv.
No, that's not the link.
Is that not it?
The link.
Don't follow that link.
It's Winfell underscore. It's got an underscore.
No,
in it.
don't follow that link. Guys, don't. I don't know who posted that. Ban that person. Ban that chat.
Please do ban them because that is toxic. That is the most toxic thing I've ever seen. Actually getting my name wrong. Like
Wind_fell?
Yeah, that person, don't follow that person.
There you go.
No, not that. What are you doing?
You said Wind_fell.
You're useless. You're useless. 1 second. Right,
Oh no.
Shit, it's that. It's Twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv.
You know what? I'm gonna ban it myself. Right, give me mod status. I'll ban you. Don't worry about that.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You know what? You can't make friends on Twitch. You can't do it because they'll just kill you.
Guys, go follow
Useless.
Winfell_. There you go. I don't know.
Absolutely useless.
I don't know. I'm one of those guys who just has a cool name that no one takes.
Well, I had
sorry.
a cool name. That person hasn't been online for 2 years. I want that name. I want that name. Like, fuck this game. I don't know. I was having such a nice time for them 2 hours, you know, and then I'm gonna have to change my name now to Wind_fell. That's just. We have to do that now. Thanks for the follows. I appreciate that. You know, when Odd Mimic gets his shit together,
guys, give me a follow. Get me to 150, and I will do a stream. I'll do one of these streams. I don't care, in a maid outfit. That's.
I was gonna say he's doing a maid.
That's on the docket.
You got a couple of mine there as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
Grizz followed you, and Cax followed, which was nice.
Yeah.
Because your name's in my title. Just so you know, that's all I ask. Just a bit
I'm sorry.
Bit of teamwork here. But what are you gonna do?
It's our first stream. We'll get it. We'll iron out the.
To be fair, we didn't actually sort this out until half an hour before we went live.
Well, I had 3:15. I had to go get myself COVID tested. Which, by the way, guys, I'm clean. Yay.
Congratulations.
Hashtag cancel Odd Mimic. Don't do that to me. How dare you?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm on board with that. Yeah, let's trend that. Yeah, let's do it. The OddFellows. God damn. Let's just call it the Fellows now.
The Fellows. Yeah, that's it. I'm cancelled. First stream and I'm cancelled.
Well, to be fair, I think for a first session, I think that was all right.
I think that was pretty good. Again, sorry guys, you guys kind of came in a little late there, but hey, next week, Friday, 4 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, my time. 8 o'clock, Winfell's weird Brit time. And
It's Central European time. CET.
yeah, there you go.
8 p.m.
His made-up Monopoly time. And
Whoa, just so you know. Okay, before we get into it, I'm not getting into politics or anything, but Europe was before America. You know, we
That's true.
We gave
it's
you
true.
the language. So
It's true. We gave you daylight savings, which is just a burden on the whole world.
Yeah, to be honest, we're trying to cancel that, I think, because it doesn't work. Nonsense. It just depresses people further. Because the whole reason is it didn't depress you because you weren't like, you know, you saw some daylight, but we don't because the hours are not. Whatever.
Okay, guys.
It's been good though.
Thank
but this
you.
video is going to go up on YouTube anyway. I'll put it on the YouTube channel and I'll send you the link, Mimic.
Oh yeah, if you want, send me the link, and I will. We will.
Yeah,
I will link everybody to that. You guys, if you guys missed any of the VOD.
Yeah. So
thank
please,
you
check
guys
us out next Friday
so
as well.
much for coming by. Black Hat, Tiama, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the follows, everyone. I appreciate it.
Guys,
See you, man.
thanks.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye, everyone. Cheerio.